Hi, today we're going to look at the zero product property when we're looking under or expanding our knowledge of quadratic equations. So the zero product property, it basically says that you can take an expression and make it an equation when you set it equal to 0. Now this operation is multiplication, so you can possibly say that A is equal to 0 or that B is equal to 0. And you can only do this when you have multiplication. So it's almost like saying A times B equals 0. That'll help us when we're looking for our solutions. And the zero product property is something you're going to use to find your solutions. Another word for solutions is going to be zeros. Another word is going to be roots. And the other one is going to be your x-intercept. Let me just set x-int for intercept. So let's go ahead and look at the zero product property a little bit more closely. So when I look at the zero product property, I notice that this is already a factored quadratic. So I'm going to say 5x plus 2 equals 0. And the second one, the second binomial, I'm going to say x minus 8 equals 0. And for each of these, I'm going to solve for x. So you have a left-hand side and a right-hand side. Subtract 2 from both sides. 5x equals negative 2. Divide 5. X equals negative 2/5. Or, if I solve for x here, plus 8 plus 8, x equals 8, or 8. And you can kind of make this your solution. So these would be the roots of the solutions of the quadratic. Let's use the second set. So each of these is going to be set equal to 0. And that's because of the commutative property. And it's only with multiplication. So only with multiplication. For the first one, add 8 to both sides. X equals 8. Or, if I subtract 9 from both sides on the second, x equals negative 9. You can also present the solutions as 8 or negative 9. I've also seen an ordered pair, because remember these are all x's, 8, 0, and negative 9, 0. The reason why you do that is because this right here is saying that y equals 0. Because you're making that an algebraic equation, and that is applying the zero product property. So solve by factoring. This one's just a little bit different. You definitely want to have your expression or your equation to have a 0 only on this side. So what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to move this over. So by doing that, let's rewrite it. 3x squared equals negative 3x. And since this is negative, we're going to add 3x to both sides. There's nothing that it can be combined with, so we're going to say 3x squared plus 3x equals. Well, when I add these two together, they add to 0. And now we can factor. And take out a 3x. I'm left with x plus 1. Both of them are equal to 0. And we are going to separate them. We're going to say 3x equals 0, or x plus 1 equals 0. If you like, we can also put this in parentheses. So for the first one, divide both sides by 3, x equals 0. And then for the second one, subtract 1 from both sides, x equals -1. And these are two possible solutions. Now for the second one, for b, let's go ahead and factor. This is in standard form, so standard form means this. Everything is on one side of the equal sign. The 0 is left alone. So let's take out the GCF of 2. So I'm going to be left with 3x squared minus 4x minus 4 equals 0. We're going to keep on bringing down the 2, and now we're going to factor. Still equal to 0. Now I have an x in each one. 3. So 3 times -4, -12. So it's going to be -2, +2. Now we're going to solve for x. So we can say 2 equals 0, x minus 2 equals 0, 3x plus 2 equals 0. We know that this does not work, so that's done. So for the second one, we're going to add 2 to both sides. That's can equal 2. Now for this one, you didn't see it earlier, but it does say it's equal to 0. We're going to subtract 2 from both sides. 3x equals -2. Divide both sides by 3. X equals -2 over 3. So our possible solutions of x are 2 or -2 over 3. Okay, and that concludes the zero product property. Hopefully you can use this while you're doing your IELTS, and I'll see you in class. Thanks.